Black, daughter back, and we are here. As you can see, there's no real set topic tonight, cause I didn't want. Well, full disclosure, I wanted to get in. I don't really like doing the politics thing, though. I love politics. Okay, I love politics, but I'm not really doing the politics thing because I don't need. No, well, I don't even gonna say that because that's not true. I don't do it just because I'm trying to stay in a different space. So politics isn't really my thing. But today, though I enjoy politics, I know that the politics of today are divisive. You got to say the word divisive. Divisive. No, for real, for real. Politics today are not quite what they used to be. And I truly enjoy politics, but I think that for what we're trying to build here at the Shon Black podcast, unlike what we were doing at the Black Hole, it just doesn't need you just don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. You know what I mean? But today we will do it. Today is going to be one of those days where we actually get into a little bit of the podcast thing. I mean the podcast, the political realm, just a little bit, and then we're also going to talk about this Nancy Guthrie case and what's going on with that. That joint is a hot daggone mess, and I'm gonna give you what I believe is going on there. Um, Everybody has their own opinions. I personally think other things are going on with that case, and I'm gonna give you what I believe is going on with that joint. Um, Also, we are going to dive into. Also, we're going to dive into whatever else comes on. All right, whatever else comes of that, we're going to dive into that. But for the most part, we are going to dive into this Nancy Guthrie case. And we're going to do a little bit of the politics thing. So strap in with us. I know that was a little long and out of the way, but you know, sometimes Shon Black, daughter back, has to explain himself. Sometimes I have to explain. I don't do it often, but sometimes I have to explain myself so that way individuals, and I'm always fixing myself, by the way, that way individuals don't get it misconstrued. All right. But so let's hop into it. First things first. Let me get this out of the way real quick. State of the Union. Great speech. Don't care if you don't like it. It's a great speech. That said, I don't know what else could be gained from having a State of the Union because it's one side versus the other. You see what's going on. This person's going to clap. That person's not going to clap. These people are going to think what they think. That person's going to think what they think. And you just never get any movement, right? That said, if you don't stand up for people who are unalived, something wrong with you. Jimmy, what up? Something wrong with you, bro. Like, people lost their lives, and it doesn't matter whether you support the current administration or don't, bro. You're supposed to stand up and for somebody whose grieving mother is in the daggone joint watching you. It, you don't have to agree with the politics, bro. Stand up for people's parents that is in this daggone thing. The girl Yeah, you stand up for everybody. It doesn't mean you agree with what the president is saying. You could disagree with him, but everybody should agree that, son, these people losing their lives in the way that they lost their lives is tragic, bro. And you support that kind of stuff. Yeah, son, like this woman's husband was unalived in front of millions of people. You ain't gonna stand up and be like, dang, son, you know what? I don't agree with this dude, but dang, son, that shouldn't have happened. Why not? Why not? What up, Keita? So, again, the Shon Black pod is not a political place, but when news happens, we are obliged to tell the news, and I'm obliged to give you my opinion unfiltered. I am unfiltered all the time. Those of you that know me in person know that I'm unfiltered on a regular basis. Those of you that are new to the pod, Shon Black is unfiltered. And so the State of the Union was all right. I mean, I enjoyed the U.S. hockey team. If you can't even stand up for hockey, you just, it's crazy. He said, yeah, that's right. I'm going to tell her like it is. That's what I do, Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy, you know me a long time. I'm still the same person that I was like when I was like 20, 22 when you knew me then. And like I said, you don't have to agree with the politics, but you do have to have empathy for those people who are being honored, service members who did amazing things for the country, individuals who family members were unfortunately cut short. And just because it doesn't align with your politics doesn't mean that you don't stand and show reverence for people, man. We, in this country, we have gotten real comfortable with disrespecting people we disagree with. And I don't think that should be something that we do. That's it. That's all I got today for that. Because we're going to get into the more interesting stuff. Yeah, son, they had 100-year-old dude that was there, son. My man was struggling to stand up. Like, how do you not? That alone, a dude stands up and salutes. You supposed to be like, that dude is 100. When I'm 100, I hope I can still stand up just like that guy. That's how you got to look at it. You can't be looking at it like, oh, I hate that. I don't like Trump, or I don't like this person. Son, that guy, forget all of that. The dude was 100 years old. You supposed to stand up for son. Word up. We come into this place where people just can't respect other people because they have different opinions. And it's hurting us as it hurts you. It hurts you. Because nobody has to agree with you. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is just keep it real with yourself, and people will keep it real with you. Disrespectful in general. People are disrespectful in general. And you know what I'm saying? I carry myself at the job, and when I'm out in public, I carry myself the same way. The same way you see me here is the same way you see me in the street, the same way you see me in a job. Same way, bro. I don't change. Why? Because, number one, Jesus is number one in my life. Sit. Two, keep it real with yourself. Keep it real with others. Three, there's nothing better than being you, unapologetically. Not saying being you because you want to be a jerk to people. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being the way God wanted you to be. God doesn't want you out there disrespecting people and crazy stuff like that. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Hands down. I want people to treat me with a level of respect. I want people to be happy around me, so I am a happy person. Period. Every day, all day. People that know me, this is the way I give it up. every day, all day. The way you see me right here is the same way you see me at the job, same way you see me in the street. You run into me in the street, I'm like, yo, what up? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Jimmy has been in I've known Jimmy for since I was like 20 something years old. Unless I drive. And when I drive, but then I keep it real there. Because I'm still that same guy. Get out of my way! Get out of the way! Ah! I go crazy. But that's just the road rage. But in general, I'm the same person. By the way, Jimmy, I'm looking to build a lowrider. I see Mark and them got new. They just bought cars. That joint got me pumped. It's time to get back in the game. Um, but yeah, man, that's why we always end the show. Take care of yourself and others. It's not just about taking care of you. It's about taking care of yourself, taking care of other people, and not in the way where you giving them bread and all that, but it's more or less giving yourself. Sometimes it's not about monetary. Sometimes it's about making sure that you are kind to people. Some a kind word could go a long way. You know what I mean? A kind word could go a long way. Being kind to somebody can go a long way, bro. Come in there and say, yo, what's good, man? You all right? I always tell them when I'm at work, I be like, yo, you good? You all right? Everything cool with you? They be like, yeah, you know this, that, the other thing, da, da, da. Dust that off. Don't worry about that. Keep it moving. Know what I'm saying? End of the day, son, I'll be laughing, joking. Son, anybody that works with me knows the truth. That's real talk. Life is short. That's right. Can't be no Trump. And people can smell a fake. People smell a fake and a phony. So when you're looking at any kind of, and here's a rule of thumb, okay? I don't care which news organization you look at. Fox, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, whoever, whatever your preferences in the news media, whatever. Listen, bro. Everybody's got an agenda. Okay? Everybody's got an agenda. Are you man enough? Are you man enough or woman enough to sidestep the agenda and look at and try to glean the good from something? You know what I mean? Some good things that are, some politicians have good stuff that they trying to do. You know what I mean? Outside of the trash that they doing. And then you got some that are they can't be helped. There's nothing you could do for them. They just can't be helped. But there's some out there that are doing the good. And if you want to YouTube, my bad. I just turned it over there to the chat. And I'm definitely gonna fix it. I know how to fix it. It's a lot of work and I really don't want to do it, but I want to have your YouTube guys over here too. Second thing is, what up, Lil Chuck? That's right. Show people the game the same way they show me. That's right. You gotta show people the respect, bro. And son, and when you respect what people are doing and people respecting what you're doing, son, then people will also like just gravitate towards you naturally. Naturally. Then there's always gonna be haters. Don't get me wrong, there's always gonna be haters. There's always gonna be somebody. There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna hate you, okay? But that has zero to do with how you roll. Because nobody can control you but you. You can't give people control of the life that you have. I don't care if you hate. I'm the person that'll call you a hater to your face. Oh, word, you hating me now? All right, cool. Guess what? Keep that same energy. I got you, dog. You know what I mean? But that's not going to stop my motion. Like I always tell the fly Puerto Rican, the motion keeps going. My motion is always this way. I'm always going. My motion is always going. I'm always, so nothing's stopping the motion. And as a family and as a unit, our motion is never going to stop. That's why it doesn't matter whether I like Trump or I don't like Trump or I like the State of the Union or I don't like it. My motion don't stop. If I like it, I like it. You're not gonna stop my motion. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and it should never stop your motion. And the people who come here to the Shon Black podcast, you guys are the elite of the elite. You guys are free thinkers, and nothing should stop your motion. We got a smart bunch of people that come in here. Word is born. So I know I rambled about that. Sorry, dog. State of the Union. Zai. You know what I'm saying? Just stand up for the people no matter what. And all men and women should be able to agree on that. Stand up for people who are suffering and hurting, and it makes you a better person. Now, let's get into this Guthrie case. Because listen. That's right. If people don't like it, they can kick rocks. Let's get into this Guthrie case. First and foremost, she is not with us anymore. Let's keep this real. This is a recovery effort. Okay? We need to stop playing these games. Unfortunately. Say what? Sanitarians paying the bills. They don't have the ability to tell me what to do. That's right. Little Chuck hit it right on the nail. Right, the nail on the head. We getting in this Guthrie case because this is a recovery effort. Okay? And in this recovery effort, we need to dissect something because we have the smartest people around at the Shon Black podcast. And I'm going to throw some things at you, and you just tell me what it is that you think. Number one, okay, is it just me, or is this sheriff slow walking this investigation? Slow walking it. You got people there. Let me back up. Does everybody remember? What up? Does everybody remember when Casey Anthony thing happened, right? Little girl was missing. They were looking for Casey Anthony's daughter, right? Does everybody remember that? Do you remember all the outside groups that came out and walked in lines looking in the woods and all this for this little girl that was gone? Does everybody remember that? Does everybody remember Elizabeth Smart? Is that her name, Elizabeth Smart? It said taking their time to cover their trust. Exactly. Bro, everybody remembers these cases. Everybody's seen these cases where people got in lines and they walked and they looked in the bushes. They called out, "Hey, you out there? Are you still there?" None of that. The group came. There was a group out of Mexico that came. I believe they were out of Mexico that came. Their specialty is looking for missing people, finding the cadavers. The sheriff said no. John Bonet, another one. The sheriff like, nah, we're not gonna have that. Excuse me? You don't want professionals? That this is what they do. They do this all over the world. They do this. Okay? They do this. You don't want those people to go out and search around the neighborhood, search through you don't want that? Somebody has to tell me why the sheriff doesn't want this. And it's not just that, okay? You don't want the DNA to go to the FBI. You don't want the FBI in the house processing the house. Now, from what I understand, they came in there today. They were in there today. But it's 2 weeks later. 2-3 weeks later, I don't know what to tell you, and this is just me. Okay, I believe that the sheriff has ties with the cartel. This is what I believe. I believe that the sheriff looks other ways when it becomes, because you're, let's keep it real, they're on the border. Tucson is super close to the border. I never forget. Here's a story. I knew a guy that lived out in Tucson, and he was telling me about how they regularly find like duffel bags full of guns and drugs out there. Huge corridor for all of this stuff going on, right? And then you had that group from, I think it's Peru or Chile, that same people that went into the basketball players' houses and the NFL players' houses, and they go in there and they break in and steal the jewels and all of that, and then go out to New York, and then they would sell off all the stuff that they found, and then they would go back, and they had all these people going back and forth, these gangs of individuals that would do this. Okay, there's something weird about the fact that there is no accountability going on with this sheriff. Nobody is saying anything about this guy. He's not doing anything. You don't hear no updates. He's not, son. He's got to be the first sheriff in history that's not going out there every day, or a spokesperson every day, and giving you updates. You got updates in all kinds of cases. Not this one. Not this one. I think this, and look, here's my thoughts. Full disclosure. I believe that there was a gang of individuals that might have like a ring, like some kind of a ring where they go into houses, break into houses, and take stuff or whatever. I think they go in, they figure out that this chick is in there, right? You know, scared or whatever, they wind up knocking the chick off, right? She has a heart attack, whatever happens, she's not with us. They take the chick out of the house, they put her in a car, and they bury her somewhere. Now here's the interesting part. When the story breaks, the cartels tell him, listen, bro, you better do everything in your power for us not to get caught. Everything in your power. I don't care what you have to do, but you better make it happen. Now all of a sudden they don't have footage. Now all of a sudden they don't have this. Now all of a sudden they don't have that. And don't forget that if it wasn't for the FBI recovering that doorbell footage, you would have never known that there was a dude standing at the door thing with a weapon. And then on top of that, remember they sold us the idea. They sold us the idea that the footage with the doorbell and then the still footage of the dude standing there was two different people on the same night. Now all of a sudden it comes out that the still footage was from a whole nother day. But then what does the sheriff do? Well, we don't know if that's true because there's no timestamp on the video, and so we're going to be careful that people just don't come up with all kinds of explanations about that. Why would you even say that, bro? People are looking in the wrong direction, and this is just me. With that chick, there's something going on with this sheriff. The sheriff knows more, and I believe he knows, because why don't you send it to the police? Why is the daggone letter not going to the police? Most of the time, the police communicate with these people, right? It's going to TMZ. It's going to whatever, right? I don't think they're communicating with at all. And if it was me, I would say, yo, you send the letters over here so it looks like people are over there doing whatever they're doing. But we going to talk to this sheriff back and forth. The sheriff doesn't call in there. Where are the cadaver dogs at? Why aren't they putting? They got these gloves. They finding gloves all over the highway. What the heck? They just got gloves all over the place. And mind you, all the that's right. And here's the other thing. Oh, there was no footage. They got this from the cloud, and this wasn't no footage. Let me tell you something. My Ring doorbell right now, I had a credit card attached to that Ring doorbell, and I since got rid of that like 6 months ago. All of my the Ring is picking up whatever it's picking up. Now, if my battery, if you know what I'm saying, I know I could go in there, I turn on my Ring account, and all of my footage is there if I go back. You trying to tell me there's no footage? You trying to tell me Google, right? Google. We're talking about Google. Let Google doesn't have saved files of those videos because it's in Google's get the heck out of here. I'm talking on my phone right now. I'm talking about Ring right now. I guarantee you when I open up an app, it's going to have an ad for Ring. Google saves everything. This is the reason why they're building all of these data centers all over the place. Stop the nonsense. Okay, let's stop it. Knock it off. You know what's going on. The sheriff is slow walking this investigation, and he's doing it on purpose. He's doing it on purpose. It doesn't make any sense. Somebody in the comments, tell me about the last time you heard this sheriff stand up without a one-on-one interview, without where he's standing in front of the Guthrie house, just like every other police officer would have did all over the states. They would have said, yo, this is what happened. The Lacey Peterson thing was the same thing. These cops, people was looking all over the place for this chick, and nobody is looking for Nancy Guthrie or whatever her name is. Nobody. Where are they at? There are usually videos of people walking miles. Nothing. Nothing. The guy, he won't let nothing happen. You trying to tell me this dude isn't in bed with somebody? He's in bed with somebody. I'm hyped. I'm sorry. I haven't even been looking at the screen to look at the joint. Sorry about that, guys. Let me go back up here because I know I seen the joint clicking, but I was in the moment. That's right. They are hiding something. So see, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it, Keita. And now they have a $1 million reward. And that was the other thing. They were talking about that they were excuse me, they were slow walking. They said, yo, that at first the cops was telling them not to give out the $1 million. And the one guy was like, listen, I don't want to come down on my fellow law enforcement people, but this was a monumental mistake. They should have offered that money in the beginning. I wonder if it was the sheriff who told them not to put that money up there. I believe he slow walked it enough so that whoever it was could get away. That's what I believe. Savannah, listen, Savannah is, you know what, I'm going to give, even though I believe that the sister and the brother-in-law, not even that they had something to do with it, but the brother-in-law definitely got a problem because like I was telling the fly Puerto Rican earlier, I know me. If my mom is missing, I am all over that TV set. Look, it's been 2 weeks. I know my mom is not with us. I'm rich. I'm spending every dollar I got to find you. And when I locate you, I'm not calling the police. This is what I'm saying. Because you trying to tell me, but I agree. She should be doing more. They should be out there more. The sister, when's the last time you heard the sister? You never out there. Look, there's no press conferences happening. Why? I don't understand. I don't understand. Said he's plowing along and everything so the evidence can be destroyed. That's right. You have to look at it from that lens. Why wouldn't you do it? Like, son, You're trying to crack a case. Why don't you have the FBI going in? Why don't you have those people going in? Why are you stopping it? Why are you sending this stuff to Florida? There was like I was talking to my man Chris. He was like, "Well, you know, sometimes they send us stuff, and this is probably what they always do." And every but listen, it's different now. It's different. The FBI is saying, "Listen, Trump." The day that they found out that this chick was missing, Trump says, listen, I'm putting the full weight of the FBI down there, and you going to tell them no? Why would you say no? Said they have it locked in the basement. I don't believe that look, let's hope that she's alive. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that she comes walking out of the desert and she dirty and dusty, but she made it. I hope that is. I hope they drop her off at a gas station or something and tell her walk. She walks in and says, "I'm Nancy Guthrie," and there's this huge reunion, and she's able to kiss her mom. I hope that that's what's happening. But let's keep it 100, son. Let's keep it a buck now. The possibility of that is super slim. That's super slim. And the reason why they can't find this chick is because this sheriff has been slow walking this investigation. Sorry, that's what's been happening. Sorry if people don't like it. Sorry if the police don't like it. That's what's happening. And everybody needs to understand when you look at it objectively, when you look and say, well, dang, they did it in other cases. They had miles of people walking all over the place. And you trying to tell me that nobody has canvassed that area on foot? When you look at the when you look at the maps of where they live at, there's mountain ranges and parks and all of that around, like natural parks and all that. You trying to tell me nobody's looked up there? Nobody. Get the heck out of here. And it's wintertime, so it's not that it's hot, but it ain't that hot out there. By the time summer hits, bro, you ain't gonna be able to go out there. It said, what if the family and help would greatly appreciate it? That's right. Any help, any help. I'd have been like, yo, I'd have told that sheriff, look, what do you mean they can't go look? That's my crib. That's my mama's crib. Yo, y'all go over there and find out and see what's up. Search that whole joint. I don't care what this clown is talking about. Y'all gonna go over there and y'all gonna search. And I'm gonna hit, here go 50,000 for everybody. Bang, 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 bang. I'd have been hitting, son. I'd have been giving away so much money. Dudes have been flying from different states to come find my daggone mama. You crazy? You crazy? Bro, something with that sheriff. Somebody gotta go follow the daggone money. I never been one of those guys, but listen, FBI, look into that dude, dog. Huh? See if he got a new car in the last like 10 years. Where'd that money come from? Does he have some kind of gambling habit? We got to figure out something. Something ain't right. Something is not right. Man, you watching the news every day. Ain't nobody. Then you got this weirdo guy that's standing around. Let's say it's not cartel driven, right? Let's say it's a serial guy, right? Who is this dude that been standing around and people been like, oh son, it's this guy that been standing around. He's showing up at all the spots. Has he been in other places? See, the problem is that they're not looking at everything objectively. Now I know there's a lot of law enforcement guys that are here that are say, nah, son, that's not what it is. I'm telling you from a perspective of somebody that used to run around in the streets, bro, you ain't doing enough. If the police want to catch you, they will catch you. Everybody knows this. It's not because they're smarter than you, they just have more resources, right? The police have more resources. Bro, you're not using the resources. Where are the resources? The FBI is a resource. Why are you not trying to use them? They trying to give it enough. They could be. But then here's the thing that I'm saying, Keita. If that's the case, right? Why not take the bitcoins? If that's the case, where what are you mentioning? Like where's the part where you go and say, okay, this is I know this is we weren't doing this, but we're gonna do this now because we need her to survive, but we need to get this bread. Where's the payout? They just offered $1 million. I'd have been like, yo, I know where she's at, but I need 1 million and I need half of that in this bank account offshore. Get the offshore joint, and then I'd be like, "Yo, she's at this warehouse, and if she don't, and I got a bomb, and if they don't, I'm detonating if I don't get the other half." Like there's all of this stuff that should have been happening. That's why I don't believe that she's alive because you'd have been trying to get this bread. Ain't nobody trying to get this money. They said, "Oh, we'll pay." Okay, drop that Bitcoin. I don't care what they send. You can send Bitcoins through the Cash App. They have. Let me tell you how crazy it could get. You could go on what's called an Onion browser, right? For those of you who know, it's called Tor browser. It is the access and how you access what's called the dark web. Okay, in the dark web, if you're down in there long enough, you can find places that have Bitcoin addresses that cannot be linked to you. So people say, oh, son, you can follow the Bitcoin. That is not true. Partly. There are ways that you can get around that. And they have ways that you can take the Bitcoins that they send you and wash them. See, people don't know that because they don't spend enough time doing their research, but you can do it. It's very possible. Super possible. And it's been around for a long time. So you can get into these underground places. You can also set up a site on the dark web where you can receive that payment and then disappear, and that joint disappears somewhere, and there's nothing they could do it. There's no way to track that. It can sit in a cold storage wallet. People don't even know cold storage. That was something that's been around for a long time. Cold storage on a Bitcoin joint. You know, you could send that thing. You could ask for physical gold. You could ask for physical silver. You could ask. I mean, there's so much more that you could do. I just don't understand why people aren't really involved like that when it comes to this nature. So that's my. I mean, I done spewed all day about it. I just don't think she's here. I don't think that people understand that this sheriff is the one who's slow walking this investigation. He's doing it for a reason. We don't know why he's doing it, but he's doing it. All right. And um I don't think they find her. I think if they do, it'll be a couple of months from now and they'll find her body and then it'll be a cold case and then whoever did it will get caught later on in years when they match the DNA. I think that's how it goes down. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see their family do any suffering. And they have to come to grips with it, and they have to call out this sheriff for not doing all he could to help them because he's not. And remember, they're not your friends, okay? And there are always good ones out there. I met a few good people. My homeboy used to be a cop, good guy. You know what I'm saying? I know people from high school that used to be cops, good people. But there's a lot of scumbags out there. It's a lot of people that are on the take. There's a lot of people that are working with criminal elements, and they're on the take. And I believe that this sheriff, is one of those people who's working with criminal elements that's on the take because it just doesn't make any sense. Everywhere else, you see it happening. You see the people standing out there. You see the families out there. You see the police talking about how they going to do this and they going to do that and all of that. And now you don't see nothing. I don't even think the police and the sheriffs and all of them have been sharing any information with the public. I mean, anything that you've heard really has come from the news channels, and it's come from like speculation. You haven't really heard any concrete nothing from this sheriff. He hasn't given you anything. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, I haven't heard anything from him, and I'm sure most of you haven't either. All right, well, let me get out of here, guys. It's always a spirited discussion. I'm sorry, man. I was going crazy. I mean, I'm just super passionate about that. Jimmy Inman, my man. Thanks for coming by the pod. Keita, it's a pleasure. I'm so glad that Keita. Everybody get it up for Keita. You know what I'm saying? She's new to the pod, and I'm glad that she's in here. Little Chuck, of course, the fly Puerto Rican. And all of those people that are over there watching on YouTube, we're gonna get you guys squared away. And those that are watching on Twitch and all the other channels too, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Come in, like, subscribe, comment. We're here 7:30 Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. The next pod is TV show Fridays. Come with your TV shows. Come prepared because we are here. We are going to be talking about a lot of things, especially anytime. We're going to be talking about a lot of TV shows that we're watching, and my disappointment with a few of them on TV right now that are pissing me off. Remember, like I always say, take care of yourself and others. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. Even if you don't agree with somebody. Even if you don't agree with somebody, please be kind to them. Sometimes it takes more energy to be negative than it does to be positive. And that's right. And I will be watching tomorrow, Keita. Matter of fact, it comes on at 12 o'clock. Because when the new shows, when they drop at 12. So it'll be on 12 tonight. I might just stay up just to watch it and watch Whistle Down. Peace and love, everybody. We'll see you Friday, 7:30.